Just gone 8 o'clock. This is Prime News on S3. We are live with you tonight here from our news studios at Television Centre in Auckland Park in Johannesburg. Let's get started with today's headlines. The National Prosecuting Authority has welcomed the successful prosecution of the 25-year-old Mozambican national Joaquim Armando Pacula.
Time for complaining is over. Let us look forward now with the determination to put a mark through our vote.
The countdown to South Africa's 6th democratic local government elections has officially begun. And political parties intending to participate in the November 4th local government elections have until 5 p.m. on the 28th of this month to submit their candidate nominations. And a governance expert says rubbish piling up across Gauteng is the price of political patronage. Good evening, it's good to be in your company again. This is the Friday edition of Prime News. We will show you the day's main events in the next 30 minutes and also look ahead to the long weekend weather. I am Gustav Freiling and I'm joined tonight by our sign language interpreter Sinuvoyo Fihlani. Welcome to our broadcast. Let's start with the lead story. The National Prosecuting Authority has welcomed the successful prosecution of 25-year-old Mozambican national Joaquim Armando Pacula. He's been sentenced to 25 years in jail after pleading guilty to charges of murder, unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, and contravening the Expropriation Act.
The NPA welcomes the conviction and sentencing of 25-year-old Mozambican national Armando Pacula to an effective 25 years imprisonment by the Gauteng Division of the High Court in Johannesburg for the matter of Warwick Stock, popularly known as DJ Waras. Pacula pleaded guilty in terms of Section 105A of the Criminal Procedure Act, admitting that he carried out the killing for payment. This sentence reaffirms the NPA's commitment to ensuring that perpetrators of violent and contract killings are held accountable and that justice is served for the victims and their families.
The countdown to South Africa's 6th democratic local government elections has officially begun. Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosini Hlabisa has now proclaimed the 4th of November as Election Day in the Government Gazette, thereby setting in motion the final phase of preparations for millions of South Africans to elect new municipal leaders.
South Africans now have a date with the ballot box. The proclamation by Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosini Hlabisa gives legal effect to the country's 2026 local government elections, officially opening the election period. The poll will determine the political leadership of all municipalities across the country for the next 5 years.
Time for complaining is over. Let us look forward now with the determination to put a mark through our vote and bring a new dispensation and make our local government work.
The proclamation follows months of planning between government and the Independent Electoral Commission, including voter registration drives, ward delimitation and operational readiness. Hlabisa says government is confident of a free, fair and credible election. Hlabisa says the election period must not be overshadowed by violence and expressed concern over political instability in parts of the country, particularly following the killing of eThekwini Municipality Ward 17 Councillor Sibusiso Kwela.
I want to appeal to political parties in South Africa. Tolerance. let us tolerate each other. And I want to appeal. We do not want to see instances of violence, killings amongst candidates, as we saw the unfortunate scenario in eThekwini, our councillor in the local government space who was gunned down on a broad daylight.
Talisha Naidu, SABC News, Durban.
Political parties intending to participate in the November 4th polls have until 5 p.m. on the 28th of August to submit their candidate nominations. And this was announced by the IEC during a media briefing in Centurion, south of Pretoria.
South Africa, you have done it again. You never cease to amaze us.
Time is ticking for those who haven't registered and updated their details to participate in the upcoming local government elections. Eligible voters have until midnight to visit the IEC's voter registration portal. IEC Chairperson Mosotho Moepya has urged the remaining eligible voters to seize the opportunity and register.
The voters' roll will close at midnight tonight. Once the voters' roll closes, no new registrations or changes to registration details will be accepted for the 2026 local government elections.
Announcing its election timetable, the IEC has opened candidate nominations for political parties and independent candidates intending to contest the elections. And the deadline is 5 p.m. on the 28th of August.
Registered political parties and independent candidates intending to contest the 2026 local government elections have 21 calendar days to submit their candidate list and nomination documents.
Moepya says organizations and independent candidates participating in the elections will have to pay a deposit which confirms and affirms their intentions to contest the elections. As the election deadline looms closer, the voters' roll has over 29 million eligible voters. Nhlanhla Khatlane, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The ANC has conceded that it will be facing the worst and the most difficult elections ever. This came out at its special NEC meeting held in Boksburg, east of Johannesburg. The one-day meeting was called to discuss and adopt its manifesto for the November polls.
It's a meeting called to tie the loose ends on the ANC's 2026 local government election manifesto. The draft text is a culmination of months of intense consultation from branches and professionals, amongst others. But going into these elections, the ANC is well aware of the difficult path it has to travel to the 4th of November. It dipped below 50% in the 2021 local elections, garnering 46% of the votes. Its difficult campaign is also compounded by non-support from its traditional ally, the SACP, which will be contesting independently. Again, its votes will be split by the mushrooming of new parties in these elections, now standing at 620. And the ANC is well aware of this and seemingly worried.
These elections is difficult in many fronts, and the ANC tend to deal with that and is dealing with that. In terms of the challenges that are posed by the election campaign itself and the election.
And with his public spirit with NEC member Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, he vowed to go a legal route.
I didn't dish any money to anyone, and that is a fact. So I'm telling you the course of action. The course of action, one, is that the matter must be referred to the Integrity Commission. That's where it will be settled in terms of the ANC. Secondly, the recourse on my part is a legal route.
Dlamini Zuma didn't attend the Friday NEC as she's out in Cuba. Ntebu Mokobo for SABC News in Boksburg.
A governance expert says rubbish piling up across Gauteng highlights issues of political patronage. That story and more right after this break. Welcome back. The ANC in the eThekwini region says it has requested the metropolitan municipality to beef up security for all its councillors. This following the death of ANC councillor in Ward 17, Sibusiso Keke Kwela. Kwela was gunned down at his offices in Klaarwater, west of Durban. His murder has renewed safety fears ahead of the November 4 local government elections.
The murder of Councillor Sibusiso Kwela has shattered a period of relative calm in KwaZulu-Natal. Kwela was shot in what has been described as a targeted attack. He was murdered whilst in his community service office in front of community members. The incident has rocked this quiet community.
We are happy that PKTT will play a major role for finding the killers, because my brother was brutally murdered. He didn't deserve this, so we are very sad.
The ANC has described his death as a huge blow. Party leaders and members visited Kwela's home to pay their respects. Leaders have appealed for calm and that security for public representatives be improved.
So it does have something to say that security needs to be upgraded in municipal properties. We know that it's not the first time someone being killed in a municipal property. So that is what we have called upon. But we have also called for calm amongst our members to say, look, we're almost at the end of all our processes. We started the campaign. Nothing must deter us, because these could be people, agent provocateurs, who are trying to come and disrupt our campaign.
The ANC has further called on its members and the community who may have information to assist the police. I am Mhlongo, SABC News, Cloudwater.
Rubbish piling up across Gauteng highlights issues of political patronage, says expert Professor Alex van den Heever. He criticises the outsourcing of services like Pick It Up, which he argues has led to poor leadership and wasted taxpayer money. Pick It Up casual workers are protesting for permanent jobs, vowing never to return to work unless their demands are met.
A separate public entity that has been created that is effectively wholly owned by the city, but by making it a public entity has effectively allowed them to have a board and an executive structure, a CEO and top executives who duplicate functions within the city, and they're paid millions. So the CEO is paid over 4 million rand a year. As with many of the other public entities such as City Power, Joburg Water, all of these have been created as public entities, and what they've done is they've effectively outsourced to these entities the key functions of the city, and that can and should be run in-house unless there is a very clear business model to create a decentralized entity of this form. But what it has allowed is for them to pay boards and millions to the boards. The annual bill is around about 23 million rand a year just on the boards for all these entities, including Pick It Up. And Pick It Up does not provide a complex service. It's not one that requires a separate public entity, and it is being run badly under this model. So the question is, what's the purpose of establishing these entities? Is it essentially a patronage structure, or is it to provide services? But clearly they're not providing services.
Would you term it loosely put, or would you term it financial mismanagement?
Co-chairperson of the National Joint Operational and Intelligence Structure, Lieutenant General Tebelo Mosikile, says more than 77,000 undocumented foreign nationals have been repatriated as of early August. She says over 3,000 people are awaiting deportation at the Lindela Repatriation Centre, with more than 500 expected to be returned to their home countries in the coming days.
Musikidi says they've also started closing the temporary repatriation center in Musina after processing and repatriating thousands of undocumented foreign nationals.
The introduction of vehicle targeting system at Libombo port of entry significantly improves the detection of stolen vehicle smuggling activities, and other illicit cross-border crimes.
The NetJoint's co-chairperson says border security remains a key priority as authorities continue to strengthen operations through the use of technology, intelligence, and joint law enforcement efforts. A month after the June 30th shutdown, Musikidi has praised police and other law enforcers units of carrying out operations on the day.
We are also training some of the SANDF members to be IEC officials in the event that there's an issue with those that are appointed as IEC officials.
Musikidi says the country remains stable, law and order prevail, and security forces continue to maintain a safe and secure environment for everyone who lives in, works in, and visits the country. Calvin Dludla, SABC News, Pretoria.
Correcting the injustices and inequality of South Africa's past was presented as a response in the Expropriation Act court challenge by the Legal Counsel for Parliament. The matter is now on day 5 in the Western Cape High Court.
Senior Counsel for Parliament Advocate Philip Mokoena stresses that the aim of the Act is land reform and equitable access to all.
Also, this must be read in terms of with reference to what the Act seeks to achieve, the pressing issue of government to develop the land to the benefit of those that were disadvantaged, and to weigh those factors and of the land owner vis-a-vis those objectives that are sought to be achieved.
Judge Vincent Saldana, Judge Hayley Slingers, and Judge Nobahle Matko Lockwood are presiding over the matter. All applicants in the matter have stressed that they are not against land reform and that they recognize the need for it. But they say they believe parts of the Act are in conflict with the Constitution, and this is what they want the court to remedy. Earlier this week, President Cyril Ramaphosa's council also conceded that sections 19(2), 3 and 4 are problematic. Various legal counsel are expected to meet to compare diaries and determine a date to finalize the matter. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Western Cape High Court.
Welcome back. Banyana Banyana struggled to impose themselves against the much bigger and physical teams in the group stage of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Now, Morocco will present a different challenge. Defender Fikile Magama believes Morocco plays a similar style to South Africa and that will suit them.
Banyana Banyana have been unconvincing in the WAFCON tournament thus far, losing their first match to Tanzania 2-1. In their second match, they trailed Ivory Coast after 20 minutes and were on the brink of an early exit. Midfielder Nonhlanhla Mthandi is hoping the lukewarm start will serve as a wake-up call for the 2022 continental champions.
How we started was not good, but it kept us on our toes. I feel like sometimes it goes back to it's not how you start, but how you finish. And with that experience and getting those results, they always keep you awake. You know that, hey, anything is possible, so you need to give your 100%.
Morocco will present a different challenge. Defender Fikile Magama believes Morocco plays a similar style to South Africa, and that will suit them.
I feel like for the past 3 games we didn't play according to what we know. We were playing because the opponents were taller than us. They didn't allow us to keep the ball a lot. We were playing most of the time long ball. So I think going forward, Morocco is going to give us what we know already.
Midfielder Robin Mudeali says Banyana will draw inspiration from a famous 2-1 victory over the host nation in the final of the 2022 edition, when they won their first ever and only WAFCON title to date.
It's a different ball game, you know. Now it's do or die. We know what is at stake. We know what Morocco will bring. We know that they will have a full stadium.
The winner will progress to the semi-finals and automatically qualify for the FIFA World Cup in Brazil next year. Vincent Situra, SABC News.
Now, before we go tonight, there's a long weekend ahead accompanied with the return of the cold by Monday. So let's check in with Kumza at the weather desk for the latest details.
Good evening and welcome to the Weather Desk. A cold front exits the country, leaving behind showers and rain along the coastal areas of the Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal into the adjacent interior. Tomorrow we have an approaching cold front that's going to bring rain and showers along the coastal areas of the Western Cape and Eastern Cape, as well as the interior of the Western Cape. Light rain can also be expected there over the low-veld regions of Mpumalanga. We start with the warning issued by the South African Weather Service for damaging interior winds over the interior of the Northern Cape, where wind speeds could go up to 35 kilometers per hour. We start with the Gauteng province, where it is still cool tomorrow afternoon. The West Rand expecting slightly cooler temperatures, with Carltonville at a maximum of 22. Slightly warmer in the north, with Pretoria at 23. A warm day in the Western Bushveld, with Lephalale at a maximum of 25, but the interior is cool, with Polokwane at 21. Morning fog patches along the escarpment of Mpumalanga, where Ermelo is at 20, but warm temperatures in the southeast, with Mkondo at a maximum of 26. Morning fog patches once again over the interior of KwaZulu-Natal, otherwise partly cloudy from the afternoon. A warm day in Zululand, with Ulundi at 29. It is cool across most parts of the Eastern Cape, but hot temperatures in Mthatha at 32. The interior slightly warmer, with Komani at a maximum of 27. Partly cloudy conditions with isolated showers and rain along the coastal areas of the Western Cape. A cold day in the city of Cape Town at 15, but warm temperatures in the central Karoo, with Beaufort West at 25. Mostly cool temperatures over the Namakwa district, with Springbok at 20, but a warm day over the northeastern areas, with Kimberley at 28. Partly cloudy conditions from the afternoon in the Free State province. Mostly cool temperatures, but a warm day over the interior, with Kroonstad at 25, Welkom reaching a maximum of 26. And then lastly, the Northwest province also expecting fairly cool temperatures over the interior, but a warm day in Rustenburg at 26, along with Mahikeng. Slightly warmer over the western areas, with Taung at a maximum of 27. Now, going into the long weekend, we do have a cut-off low pressure system making its way over the western parts of South Africa. It is going to bring scattered to widespread showers and rain, mostly over the southern provinces. Light snowfall can also be expected over the southern high ground of the Northern Cape, the Western Cape, Eastern Cape, moving into places of KwaZulu-Natal by Sunday. Then on Monday, we see that cut-off low pressure system now moving into the northern areas, still bringing some rainfall and cold temperatures behind that cold front. An 80% chance of showers and rain is expected over the Eastern Cape, as well as the southern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. That slight snowfall now moves into the Drakensberg areas of KwaZulu-Natal, as well as along the Lesotho border of the Free State province. I'll leave you there with the weather. This is SABC.
And that's where we leave it tonight. Prime News will be back on Monday at 8 o'clock. In the meantime, you can enjoy the rest of the evening's entertainment here on S3. Silent Witness is up next. From myself, Sinuvoyo, and the rest of the team, have a wonderful long weekend. Good night.